Mustang Mach-E.
The Mach-E is Ford's first serious attempt at building a full battery electric vehicle, and what a car it is. It was created by Ford Team Edison, and then they slapped the Mustang badge on it, making it 100 times sexier and more desirable. Now this is a high-end EV. It starts from about €59,000. That's grant eligible, but this one here is about €70,000. But is it worth it? Is it the EV that you really want to drive? Let's take a closer look. So what's this Mustang Mach-E like to drive? Well, really brilliant, I have to say. Spoiler alert, it's just brilliant. There are two different battery options. The 70 kilowatt hour can get up to 440 kilometers. This extended range rear wheel drive version can get up to 600 kilometers measured by WLTP. Power ranges from about 269 horsepower up to 487 in the top of the range GT model, which can do 0 to 100 in about 4.4 seconds. Well, this one is a bit of a weapon in its own right. So it's the extended range rear wheel drive. You've got 600 newton meters of torque, 294 horsepower, and 0 to 100 is about 7 seconds, and it feels very responsive. It gathers power really nicely. A little bit of augmented noise there as well, just like a classic Mustang growl. Love that about it. So there's a bit of performance and exhilaration and excitement to the drive in this. And certainly the team were very passionate about creating a car that would deliver on the expectation of a Mustang badge, and I think they absolutely have. I think you can see from this angle that's more of a crossover than a big chunky SUV. You get 18-inch alloy wheels as standard. There is up to 20-inch possible, and a very clever door opening mechanism. It's just by a button, but you can also program a pin to open the door without a key. Inside, it's got one of the most modern and well-appointed cabins of any Ford on sale. It does feel quite upmarket. The material quality is generally very good. You've got nice fabric there in the dash, and the materials in the doors are good as well. A few cheaper bits like this rotary dial for the gear selector, for example. I think I've seen that in a Ford Focus. So I suppose the finer details could be a little bit better. But it is very well equipped. You get the full digital driver display and this really great portrait style touchscreen. This is really brilliant. It's very nice to use. It's not overly complicated. Good functionality, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Ventilation controls are in the screen, but they're actually relatively easy to use on the move as well. And you get a B&O stereo, you've got that pano roof, you've got wireless smartphone charging, synthetic leather upholstery, and also heated front seats. There's a number of different driving modes: whisper, active and untamed. That's maximum attack mode, really like that one. There's one pedal driving as well to increase regenerative braking. It works really nicely. And the suspension technology is excellent. Now, the suspension and steering were tuned for European roads. The steering is quite heavy, so it's easy to keep in lane, and it adds to that nice driving experience when you're going a bit quicker. But in town, I think it's a little bit too heavy, particularly in parking. It can be quite tiring. It's not an efficiency star either. I mean, the best efficiency I've got is 23 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, but because it's such a big battery, it's not such an issue. There's plenty of driving between battery charges. and there's DC fast charging up to 150 kilowatt for the 91 kilowatt hour battery version, and then it's up to 115 kilowatt in the 70 kilowatt hour battery version. So you've got good DC fast charging, particularly for the 91 kilowatt hour battery version. So all in all, just a brilliant car to drive. I think you'll really enjoy being behind the wheel. It is expensive, but there's a lot of work has gone into this car, and it's one that Ford can really be proud of. When it comes to practicality, you get a powered tailgate as standard, and there's about 402 litres. So it's a good size. It's not massive, but there's still about 100 litres onto the front as well, which is handy for storing the charging cables. There's loads of legroom for backseat passengers, particularly the two outer seats. For the middle seat, there is a flat floor because it's a bespoke EV, but this protrudes quite a bit. The floor is quite high. It's still reasonably comfortable, though it could do with a little bit more thigh support. You've got an armrest with cup holders. The hatch doesn't open through to the boot, but these seats can split fold. You've got vents and you've got USBs, and it's all nicely finished back here as well. So that's all from the cabin of the Mustang Mach-E. You can read a full review of this over on changinglanes.ie, and I left a link in the description below the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.